Have you ever studied for an hour, felt like you understood it completely, and then someone asked you to explain it, and suddenly your brain just stopped working? You know that feeling, right? You're reading a chapter, everything makes sense, you're highlighting things, maybe you're even nodding along like, yeah, obviously. Then you close the book and 5 minutes later, you can barely explain what you just learned. This used to happen to me all the time. And the problem wasn't I wasn't studying long enough. The problem was I confusing familiarity with understanding. Because when the information is sitting right in front of us, it feels obvious. We recognize the words, we recognize the examples, and our brain interprets that recognition as I know this. But recognizing an explanation is very different from being able to recreate it yourself. And there's one really simple technique that exposes that gap almost immediately. It's called the Feynman technique, and it's probably one of the most useful methods you can use to understand almost anything. And I saw lots of public figures like Elon Musk using this technique to improve their business or even their life. You can use it for school, business, coding, finance, psychology, or even something random you heard on a podcast and want to understand it properly. The idea is simple. If you can explain something clearly, you probably understand it. If you can't, there's still a gap somewhere. The technique is named after Richard Feynman, who was a Nobel Prize-winning physicist. He worked on incredibly complicated subjects, but he became famous not only because he was a great scientist, but also because he was really good at explaining difficult ideas in a simple language. He had this ability to take something that sounded completely impossible to understand and make it feel intuitive. And I think that's what makes this technique so useful. You don't need to be studying physics, you don't need to be genius, you basically use the explanation as a test. Instead of asking, have I read this enough times, you ask, could I teach this to someone else? So, how do I learn this? How can I make sure I implement this technique to my own understanding? Let's say you're trying to learn something. Maybe it's compound interest, supply and demand, photosynthesis, you name it. The first step is to choose one specific concept. Specific matters. Don't write something huge like economics or biology. That's too far abroad. Choose one idea inside the subject. For example, instead of writing finance, you could choose compound interest. Instead of writing marketing, you could choose customer acquisition costs. Instead of writing psychology, you could choose cognitive bias. Then write that concept at the top of a blank page. Now, the blank page suddenly feels uncomfortable, right? And you know what? That's the point. When you're looking at your textbook or notes, your brain has lots of supports. The explanation is already there. All you have to do is follow it. But when you're looking at blank page, you have to produce the explanation yourself. And that takes us to the second step. Explain the concept using your own words. Imagine you're teaching it to someone who has never studied the subject before. You're not allowed to copy the official definition. You're not trying to sound academics. You're simply trying to make the idea understandable. Let's use compound interest as an example. The formal definition might sound something like compound interest is an interest calculated on the initial principal and accumulated interest from previous periods. Technically correct. But if you said to a 12-year-old, they will probably just stare at you. A simpler explanation would be your money earns more money, and then the money you earn starts earning money as well. Let's say you invest $100 and it grows by 10% per every year. After the first year, you have $110. In the second year, you don't only earn interest on the original $100, you can also earn interest on the extra $10 you made in the first year. So over time, the growth starts to build on itself. That's a much better explanation because it shows the idea rather than just repeating the definition. And this is where most people make mistakes. They think explaining something simply means shortening the definition. But that's not really the goal. The goal is to explain what is happening, why it is happening, and ideally give an example. Because you might be able to memorize a sentence without understanding it, it's much harder to create your own example without understanding it, the idea behind it. Now, while you're doing this, you probably reach a point where you got stuck. Maybe you know the first half of a sentence, but not the second half. Maybe you understand what happens, but you don't understand why it happens. Or maybe you suddenly realize that one of the words you're using is something you never actually defined. That is actually step 3. Identify the gaps. And this is arguably the most important of the process. When you get stuck, don't treat it as a failure. The moment is a useful information. It shows you exactly where your understanding becomes weak. Most passive study methods hide these gaps. You can reread a chapter several times and still not notice that one important part doesn't make sense. But when you try to explain the idea, the confusion becomes obvious. Maybe you can explain the basic idea of inflation, but you cannot explain why increasing the money supply can affect price. Maybe you know the formula for a mathematics problem, but you don't know why the formula works. Maybe you remember what happened in a historical event, but you don't really understand what caused it. When you notice that gap, circle it or write it down, then go back to your book, notes, lectures, or another reliable source and and study only that specific part. This is what makes the technique efficient. Instead of reading the entire chapter again, you focus on the exact area where your understanding broke down. Close your notes, try to explain it again. You might need to repeat this process a few times. Explain, get stuck, review, and then back again. Explain again. Each round should make the explanation clearer. Then we get to the fourth step, simply what you have written. Read through the explanation and look for the words sounds unnecessary, technical, or complicated. Now, technical words not necessarily a bad things, and sometimes they could be necessary, but also they're actually a very convenient place to hide. You can say a complicated word and feel like you explained something, when really you just given it a label. For example, imagine you're explaining a procrastination and you write procrastination is caused by emotional dysregulation. That might be correct, but what does emotional dysregulation means? A simple explanation might be sometimes we avoid tasks because the task makes us feel uncomfortable, overwhelmed, insecure, or afraid of failing. So we do something easier to change how we feel in the moment. Now we actually understand what the phrase means. A useful question to ask here is, how would I explain it to a child? Not because children cannot understand complicated things, but because they don't share all the assumptions that adults do. A child usually like this word. Why? Why does that happen? Why does the formula work? Why does the price go up? Why do people behave like that? And that forces you to go one level deeper. You stop repeating what you've been told and start understanding the mechanics underneath it. But there's an important distinction here. Simplifying something doesn't mean making it inaccurate. You're not trying to remove all the complexity, you're trying to make the complexity easier to follow. A good explanation can still include nuance. It just shouldn't rely on confusing language to sound intelligent. There are a few common mistakes to avoid when using this method. The first is checking your notes too quickly. The moment you feel uncomfortable, you might want to look up to the answer, but try to sit with the confusion for a little while. See how far you can get from your memory. Your struggle is part of the Feynman technique. The second mistake is only writing the definition. A definition is useful starting point, but a real understanding usually means you can explain the idea, given an example, apply it in a new situation, and answer basic question about why it works. The third mistake is trying to make your explanation sounds impressive. This isn't an exam. Nobody needs to read the page. Your explanation can be messy, informal, and full of cross-out sentences. The point is not to create beautiful notes. The point is to make your thinking feasible. And you don't need to spend hours doing this. You can use the Feynman technique in a short study session. Choose one concept, spend a few minutes explaining everything you know, identify where you get stuck, review only those parts, then rewrite explanation more clearly and test yourself with new example. And here's the hack. You actually can explain it out loud as well. For example, tell to your friends, or even making YouTube videos. The format doesn't really matter. What matters is that you stop only consuming information and start producing an explanation. Because learning can feel productive when we're watching videos, reading books, and taking notes, but sometimes we're just becoming more familiar with the material. The real task begins when the material is no longer in front of us. So the next time you finish learning something, don't immediately move on to the next chapter. Take out a blank page and try to explain the idea as simply as you can. You may discover that you understand less than you thought, but actually, this kind of thing is a good news because now you really know what area specifically that you need to improve. And once you can explain it clearly, accurately, and in your own words, the idea is no longer just sitting inside the textbook. It has become part of the way you think. So to make this video more concrete, choose one specific subject that you're currently learning and leave a comment on this video with the simplest explanation that you can come up with. It will be an amazing test. If you haven't learned anything recently, that's fine. Let's make this video as an example. How would you explain it in a simple sentence? Stay classy. Leave a comment. I will read it all.